statement. I now give the floor to the representative of Greece.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to thank Assistant Secretary General Martha Poby and Under-Secretary General Tom Fletcher for their briefings today. The situation they have painted cannot let us and should not let us indifferent. Mr. President, Greece expresses its grave concern over the persistent military escalation in El Fasher, which for more than 18 months has been the epicenter of fighting and unimaginable human suffering. The Rapid Support Forces siege has trapped hundreds of thousands of civilians to the mercy of their attackers without any possibility of protection, let alone humanitarian aid. We strongly condemn the attack of RSF on El Fasher and call for the immediate halt to all hostilities and for the de-escalation in and around El Fasher. Reports of indiscriminate shelling, ethnically motivated executions, the massacre of the Saudi maternity hospital, and gender-based violence by all sides are to be strongly condemned. These acts, documented by the UN and the African Union, constitute serious violations of international humanitarian and human rights law, some amounting to war crimes. Greece fully aligns itself with the Secretary General's recent statement regarding the situation in El Fasher and shares his concern about the appalling humanitarian toll. We echo his call for an immediate end to the siege, cessation of hostilities, and unimpeded humanitarian access to all civilians in need. We call for safe passage for all those trying to leave El Fasher, including vulnerable groups like women, children, and the elderly. Mr. President, allow me to highlight 2 points. First, the humanitarian situation in El Fasher has turned into the gravest crisis in Sudan. Over 10 million people are now displaced in Sudan, while famine and disease threaten those trapped in besieged areas such as El Fasher. Greece reiterates the Secretary General's call for safe and rapid delivery of aid and for full respect of international humanitarian law. We strongly support the creation of safe humanitarian corridors under UN and AU coordination in line with the Security Council Resolution 2719. Let me stress that the children are among the most severely affected, as the Under-Secretary General has just described. We demand that all parties refrain from prevent and put an end to any violations against women and children, including recruitment and use, killing and maiming, raping, and other forms of sexual violence. Greece urges all parties to place the protection of civilians at the heart of peace efforts and calls for perpetrators of violations against civilians to be held accountable. Second, accountability is essential for all those responsible for war crimes and crimes against humanity. The UN fact-finding mission has confirmed a consistent pattern of atrocities by all parties: summary executions, sexual violence, forced displacement, and deliberate starvation. Impunity remains a driving force behind Sudan's recurring violence. While domestic judicial initiatives are welcome, they remain insufficient and selective. Greece, therefore, supports complementary international mechanisms capable of ensuring impartial investigations and prosecutions. Mr. President, on the political track, the crisis in Sudan, apart from being a horrifying tragedy, threatens regional stability, including the Sahel, the Horn of Africa, and the Red Sea region, with repercussions we all imagine. We call on all third actors to halt the transfer of weapons and fighters into Sudan and to support the coordinated diplomatic framework of the UN, AU, and IGAD, and the League of Arab States. Only concerted international engagement can prevent further fragmentation of the country. Greece reaffirms its strong support for Sudan's sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity. We reiterate there is no military solution to this conflict. We urge both the Sudanese armed forces and the Rapid Support Forces to engage without preconditions with the Secretary General's personal envoy, Mr. Lamamra, and to take immediate concrete steps toward a negotiated and lasting ceasefire leading to a credible political process and sustainable peace. Finally, this Council should not refrain from taking further action as necessary and rise to the demands of this crisis. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Greece for his statement.